listen, there's plenty of room for waiting as well. I don't want you to think, oh, this is my word to go get married, or this is my word to buy that new car I'm wanting, or this is my word to buy the Hummer, or what. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got to discern whether God's telling you to wait or whether God's telling you to step out. And if you are confused about it, then you got to find clarity. If you've been in confusion too long, you step out and you find out. And I'm going to give you some more tips on that. Don't get stagnant. Don't stay stagnant when you are confused. Take the steps you know to make, even though you don't know the finish line. So take the steps you know to make, even though you don't know what the finish line looks like. God does know the finish line, and God will lead you. The children of Israel in the wilderness didn't know where they were going, and Moses really didn't either. I don't think Moses knew he was leading them to the Red Sea and leading them into a trap. I'm sure there was a point where he recognized that, but 10 miles away, he didn't know. But he was moving in the wilderness, following the cloud and following where the Lord was leading him. So there are ways to find a point of clarity. So first and foremost, in moments of confusion, reconnect and stay connected to your vision and your purpose. Don't move outside of that. If you're making a decision that moves you outside of your vision, your overall mission, or your overall purpose, you're probably very confused. So if you don't move on that kind of level without some sort of understanding of what you are doing. Don't let the absence of a large picture overshadow the importance of the small picture that you have. The question is how, not if, but when. So in other words, how can we do what we're supposed to do now? You see, in growing a church, there are levels. There are things that you do to test. And first of all, you operate a small church. You always operate it like a larger church. If it's 100, run it like 200. If it's 200, run it like 400. If it's 500, run it like it's 1,000. Why? Because when you get to that 100 mark, you start getting influence. And when you get that kind of influence, every person in your body has 7 relationships. That's 700 people of influence. So when a church stays under 100, the influence of that church stays limited. When it gets to a certain number, the influence begins to expand because of the number of relationships within the number of people. When you have 500 people in a church, their relationships expand into 3,500 to 4,000 people, meaning you're going to gather a certain amount of those people who are going to come to church with their friends. So this is how a church that's run effectively and run healthily grows and continues to grow. Most of the time, it grows off of a relationship base. So in the process of growing that or getting confused with that, take the steps that you know to take. Don't wait for the picture to get so big that you feel overwhelmed. God will have you step, like for instance, should we enlarge our nursery? The answer to that is normally yes, but do you have the volunteers to operate it? So that's the place of so okay, yes, we're going to enlarge our nursery, okay? But what do we have to do first? Let's do the first thing first. Let's be wise. The big picture is this. Here's the small step.